Buy for me, yeah. Buy for me. Buy for me, yeah.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen, I was by the stove. Big inside this case is once. Do me dirty, I'ma find you, lay your out on the floor.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the Washington Redskins. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 13.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tackle made there by Mason Foster.
Nice play, baby, nice play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Go.
Now Foles. That ball's caught. Aguilar, right side.
Missed.
He will not go down. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on. So
second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now it's Ajayi. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's where they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Foles. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Swearinger. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And always going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st and 10, Smith looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Completes it to Ajayi. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
180.
Here's Ajayi. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Tackle made there by Zach Brown.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's Foles. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
One.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. it now to kick this one away. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Completes it right side to Doxson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down, here's Smith. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They run with Ajayi. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Ertz has it left side. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. This is a Johnny. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Crowder's got it over the middle. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. The backup Ron Kelly, his first carry. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Smith on 1st down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Smith. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Foles now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll drop to throw. And Jeffrey's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Foles now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Great.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jay Ajayi as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And here come the Redskins now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people are upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll hand it down to Geis. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a Redskin first down as Smith hits Crowder. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st down, it's Smith. He's going to loft one deep over the middle, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Denbauer with his man, their zone. Deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. And incomplete here on 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
They're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They're going to look to throw. Jeffrey with a catch left side. Alshon Jeffrey. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score in the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try and run through it with Kelly. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And out now come the Eagles. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are. But with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now Foles. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Daron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On play action, they'll throw. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. So the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Foles keeps himself upright, stays on his feet. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. Back to throw here. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Matt Ioannidis. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
They certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Now a run with Geis. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And almost intercepted. That would have been his 3rd pick in this game alone. Instead, 4th down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Smith now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. This is Geis. Broken tackle. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Nice move there by Darius Geis, and he got on my radar in 2016 when he was filling in a lot for Leonard Fournette because he had ankle issues at LSU. And the first time I saw him play, over 200 yards on the ground, a lot of long runs, but he also broke a lot of tackles as well. That's why people had him on their radar for this draft and think that he can be a featured runner, and Washington's counting on it.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really They've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Here's Smith. Docks him with a grab over the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Smith now 8 of 17 so far, under 50%. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. That is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Paul Richardson, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run again with a Johnny. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Go, go, go!
Here's Foles. Jeffrey breaking the tackle. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. Now a 1st down throw. It's Smith. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be caught. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. Extra point good by Hopkins. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So a 7-point game, they'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Well, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for Philadelphia, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for Washington, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.